Oh, what's up, guys? I had a message come through that I want to share. It's about what I call jumping timelines. And right now, regardless of whether you're aware of this process or not, humanity is going from a third dimensional timeline to a fifth dimensional timeline. Which means we're transmuting and dissolving fear and anxiety and murder and panic and sadness and all of these lower density emotions. And if you think this doesn't apply to you, then it applies to you even more, in the sense that what you feel resistance towards in your life coming up, in the past too, but it's gonna be escalated. See, because COVID-19, this narrative has turned up the human intensity scale from 0 to a 1 out of 10. And I know that sounds kind of light. It was a very heavy year, but it's prepping us for when the barometer gets turned from the 1 out of 10 to like an 8 or 9 out of 10, which is coming. And it's exciting because when the heat gets turned up in our everyday third dimensional lives, and when I say heat get turned up, that could be more disease in your life, getting sick more. If you're really resistant, it could be cancer, something like that. Car accidents, it could be relationships that you've kind of settled for, but they're really getting to a point where you have to do something about it. The heat of the relationship is getting turned up so much that it's getting to a level of pain where you have to do something about it. It could be around money or your job. It could be around suppressing who you are, and the level of suppressing that you're doing and that pressure that you put on yourself for not being who you actually are will reach such a point of pain where you can no longer suppress anymore, where you have to be who you truly are. So these pressure points are happening on this third dimensional timeline to set the ignition under our bums, to under our asses, to hop us to this fifth dimensional timeline that we're moving down now. That only, I don't like percentages because they're never super 100% true, but less than 5% of people are experiencing right now, these states of true 5-dimensional consciousness, and I'm bouncing back and forth between 3D and 5D, but no one's completely in, not that I know of anyway, is in this 5-dimensional spaceship, because we're still all anchored in this world that's the collective consciousness is still 3D. Still the main vibration is fear, not love, not joy, not ease, not fully expressing yourself. It's suppression. So yeah, the universe doesn't beg you, because at the end of the day you have free will, but it's inviting you. It's really inviting us to listen to the heat being turned up, listening to the pain in our own lives, and no longer tolerating that pain, no longer succumbing to the pain, but using the pain to make new choices, to hold new perceptions on life, especially in areas where we feel restricted or censored, or that we're enslaved. And again, we have this we've been marketed this very specific idea of what slavery is, but I'd say 98% of people that I walk across on the street are enslaved in some way. We're not talking about people milling cotton in the fields. That's this textbook ingrained. Again, this is not the topic of the video, but again, that's valid, but there's a whole world of slavery that's going on right now, is what I'm saying. And we as a collective are clinging still to this 3D, to fear narratives, to struggle, to sacrifice in relationships. And because the intensity, because the heat is getting turned up for our benefit, which, is you can call it deep state or new world order, but it doesn't matter, because like even that sinister force is still, God is allowing it for this mass awakening to happen. So humanity is clinging to these third dimensional timeline and these beliefs of like, I have to wear a mask outside or inside in order to stay safe. When you start letting go of beliefs like that and start just taking a step back, the universe will naturally help you hop to the higher timeline. And when I say timeline, it's a new lens and a new reality, a physical reality of your life, where again, you may be walking down the same street as people, but what's being attracted to you, what you get to experience, what states of emotion you get to experience are much higher and more full and beautiful and positive than someone who is clinging to the 3D ideas and beliefs and paradigms still. So the more we can unclench and let go and just go with the flow of the universe and where it wants us to go, the more easy this decade and the rest of our lives will be. Because whether you remember or not, we've chosen into this time to be human beings. We've, energetically saw what was going on down here in the earth plane in this time and space reality, and we felt called to come down here for very specific purposes. And this is the we all have individual essence purposes, but this is the grand purpose of all of us here coming together to remember who we actually are, to remember our multi-dimensional capabilities, but also to take our power back as human beings, to free the human collective psychologically and physically as well. So it's a very exciting time. And again, I can't stress this point enough of just being able to let go, especially if you're resistant to this, especially if you don't understand it. So even just remember this video, when a couple of years pass, 5-10 years pass, and you're going through something, remember this video. Remember that thing, that's the painful event, the catastrophic event in your personal life, in your personal awareness and experience, is happening for a reason. So ultimately, have you say enough is enough. It's time to set my life free. It's time to stop giving a fuck what people think. It's time to stop giving my power away to doctors and beliefs that are having me live in a very small, tiny box where I'm scared to hug another human being because I'm afraid they're going to give me something. It's time we step into bigger ideas and the truth of the matter of how there's trillions of of viruses and bacteria inside our bodies right now, outside our bodies, and how how important the terrain is of our internal body, and how important again our frequency is. Someone who's vibrating, someone who's walking down and clinging to water one sec. Someone who's clinging to that third dimensional timeline is going to experience so much more disease because of the restrictive life patterns they have, because of unfulfillment in their life, because of food choices that they have over and over and over again, because of the people that they spend their time with, versus someone who has let go of life, who has surrendered to trying to control every little aspect of their life, and is going with the flow, and is listening to the heat being turned up and saying, okay, this is getting really hot up in her in this 3D timeline. I'm gonna follow the energy and hop to this 5D timeline, which is actually again more love and flow and laughter and good relationships that feel good and all of that. And there's one other point that just came in. Oh man, it was good. It was about the terrain and health and oh man, what was it? Okay, it's okay. It will come back. I'll do another video on it. But yeah, this is why we're here. This is what's going on a very energetic level right now, and you know, again, the more you can go with this energy and just flow with it and honor the discomforts in your life and listen to them, the more easily you will navigate what's going to happen as the heat gets turned up to absurdity in the next year, in the next decade, for, you know, the years moving forward. Oh man, I really want to remember what I was thinking. Okay, that's all good. I'll do another video on it if it comes to me. But cool guys, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, a comment, and subscribe to my new channel. I really appreciate that. You know, I've just started this new channel, and it would mean a lot to get these messages out to more people. So if you, again, feel called to share this video or be a subscriber, that would really be great.